of the high fives before this derby of sorts gets underway. Always fiercely competitive between North African giants from Morocco and Egypt. Of course, it's the side from Rabat who will be heavy favourites. Just the two changes from their starting lineup for the match day 3. And that sees Aziza Rabat return into centre-back position, but Azar Zayed has kept her place, having previously partnered Maureen Tovia. And also Sian Bukami comes into midfield. There's no change up front. Why would you? Banuk, Masoudi, and the support of El Madani and Murtaji has certainly made ASFAR the potent force we expect from Mohamed Amin Alouya's side. So Ansino Tewantan Jukwa of Namibia taking charge of this matchup. Amira Abdelhamid, the armband for the all-red Masar, 21-year-old, taking on that responsibility. And VAR, of course, always keeping a watchful eye. We saw them make their mark in the semi-final that previously was held. So for Masar, the biggest match in their history. Debutants certainly looking to Sandrine Nyonkuru, who's got 2 of their 3 goals, but it's really a competition that's been built on defence. And Abiba would have been so frustrated to have conceded a late goal in an eventual 2-1 win over CBE. That was the first they conceded. They're going to have to be rock solid to get another clean sheet today. So no changes from match day 3 for Masar. No surprise, coach Ramadan has stuck with his best side, built on the defence. The Ugandan pair of Aisha Nantongo and Sadia Nankia. And them and Abiba Sabri El Tayar will have to be on full alert. Doa El Mandani, in particular, has been a goal machine in this competition. 5 she managed in the group stages. Well, ASFAR have been here and done it before. Masar have been there and created a shock at the start of this tournament. How will this play out? About to find out. ASFAR against Masar in the second semi-final of this CAF Women's Champions League. So underway, ASFAR on home soil, although on the road from Rabat to here in El Jadida. And they face off against Egyptian debutants Masar for a place in the final to face Tepe Mazembe. A positive start for the Egyptians, the first from their nation to reach the knockout phase. Wadi Degla actually did win the first ever match in the CAF Women's Champions League with the Pharaohs hosting in 2021. But of course, they lost all their subsequent matches in the first 2 editions. Masar winning on their first attempt. And that set them up to make it through. They were This thing stood going through his top dogs, which would have meant a semi-final with Tepe Mazembe, only for Edo Queens' stunning turnaround to knock out Mamelodi Sundowns to mean the all-red Masar take on ASFAR. But they've made a positive start and a little bit nervous from the Moroccan champions. Zeneb El-Roudani just got out there by the flight-footed nature of the Hala Mustafa drawing the foul. Slow to get back to her feet. An early tester. Certainly looking for a deep cross. Very much hanging past the far post of ER-RMICHI. Driven in with ferocity. No one really made a run across the 6-yard box. Relatively easy to clear. That's a great searching ball. Masar, if there are any nerves, they're not showing them yet. Just seem to get in each other's way there. Seems like the flag might have gone up. Well, Mohamed Amin Alioua has been there and done it. Looking to keep his usually winning machine on the path for another final. Of course, as mentioned, great experience in this competition. ER-RMICHI herself is making her 19th CAF Women's Champions League appearance. But of course, they failed twice at the semi-final stage, either side of lifting the title in 2022. So they don't want to take anything lightly. Well, Lars Vind, the assistant coach, there on the sidelines, seen that a little bit during this competition. He's assistant to Ahmed Ramdani. No chances taken. Thumped away by Maya Abdel Razek. You can see on the CAF YouTube channel, big fan of Sana Masoudi. What an opportunity for her to be facing a hero of hers in the biggest stage, the semi-finals of the premier continental competition for women's football in Africa. Battling and then falling down under the challenge of Zeneb El-Roudani. Had been partnered alongside a couple of different players. There was an opportunity to try and bring Damos back into the side, but that didn't really work out for the coach, who brought her in for match day 2 and just didn't look quite at the level she'd had in previous times. ASFAR started slowly against Tepe Mazembe and were almost in big trouble, only to eventually come through with a stunning second half performance to win 3-1. Madani and a Masoudi double. And a victory over the Ravens for the DR Congo, the only time ASFAR have conceded a goal. Something these two sides have in common, just the one goal conceded. ASFAR, though, potent in terms of goal scoring. 8 goals scored in the competition, 5 of which have come from the exhilarating talent of Doa El Madani. Sudi with that brace. And Aziza El Rabah, the captain, earning her goal from the spot in the victory over Aigle de la Medina. Looking for some movement. Didn't feel she was getting anything particularly worthy. Abdel Razek, who is 19, still much more experienced than others, having been in the Wadi Degla side in 2022 alongside now teammate Naira Ali El Danbouk. Positive start from the Egyptians. The Moroccans looking to try and wrestle control of this one. We've seen Tepe Mazembe have to play extra time. They'd love to get through to the final without overexerting themselves. Masudi uses the support from Benzina. There's 2 over here. Falls kindly for the goal machine, El Madani. Goes right, left. Bundles her way through. Finally, a challenge of note. Masar clearing their lines and then driving up the field. Masar just looking to play a little bit of possession. Long ball from Aisha Nantongo. Part of the Ugandan partnership at the heart of the Egyptian defense. Lovely touch and turn from Yasmin Zezo, the only other Masar player to have scored at this CAF Women's Champions League. Turned out to be the winner. CBE got a late farewell present to their first participation in the competition. As we've seen from Tepe Mazembe, they made their debut in the competition in 2022. Failed to qualify in the last edition. Now have earned themselves a place in the final. So, not a gimme, but the experience can be promise fulfilled later. Easy to be overawed, given the stage Masar women find themselves, but no such nerves in the early exchanges. Lifted ball up. Leila Benzina getting the break from her long ball. She takes the throw and gets it back from Masudi. Long swirling ball. Well dealt with by teenage goalkeeper Sabri El Tayeb. Well, early sparring match between these two sides. No chances of note yet in the opening exchanges, but there could be as Masudi really puts the pressure on. Masudi just a bundle of energy, and she really was the driving force for victory against Tepe Mazembe. Incredibly, Masudi had only previously scored one occasion in the Champions League. It was a hat-trick in the first edition. She was at the double. This is hard, but that is the opening goal. And it's Rabat's side who have taken a first step, they hope, towards the final. And no wonder she celebrates. Safa Barouk heading ASFAR in the right direction. The 24-year-old was on the move and timed her run and skip it to the air to perfection. Saluting those here in El Jadida. And her first Champions League goal in over a year, when she'd scored the only goal in victory over Huracanes, having been an assister so far in this tournament, finally getting her own name in lights. And despite a positive start from Masar, brutally exposed from the set piece, and now it's a real test of character for the Champions League debutantes. And that's one way to try and respond. Driving run from Aetak Ragat. Set pieces might be their best way in. There's been a few given away, and in fact most of them by Zeneb Erudani. I think there might have been just a final warning. Otherwise, booking for persistent fouling may be in her near future. Driven in low, but that's easily taken by ER-RMICHI. Well, certainly buoyed by the start. And ASFAR into a precious lead early doors. Ball in hand for Ala Mustafa. That's given away far too cheaply. Risks taken, but backing herself Doa El Madani. And now ASFAR can find a more relaxed route out. Aziza El Rabat, refreshed. She had to be brought off injured against Tepe Mazembe. Ruaiba had replaced her and then kept her place in the start 11 for matchday 3. Siam Bukam has then come in to play alongside Erudani, and Rabat returning with Maureen Dovia, Nigerian, taking a place on the bench. But Hajar Said, number 19 there, pointing out where she felt the ball should have gone. She has kept her spot. There's been a lot of juggling between that second sitting defensive mid and who would partner Rabat in the defence. It seems to be a little bit more settled. At least they hope so. With the final 2 matches to play, they'll hope as well, with an early lead, that it'll be a place in the final. Masar, though, desperate to have a word in that conversation. Certainly a bright, effervescent start, and well, the questions could be, the first one is, it's a penalty. The other one was whether she was onside. No indication the flag was going up. And what a response from Masar. Well, tall figure of Hajar Saeed retaining her place in the back line, and yet she got found out. Clearly onside, Sandrine Niyonkuru. And then she just had a nibble at the jersey. What a ball over the top to release the Burundi striker from Maria Ali Eldambuk. Most experienced in the Masar side. 27-year-old Egyptian. Played alongside Abdel Razek for Wedi Degla in 2022. A booking for Hajar Saeed. But now she's praying that her goalkeeper ER-RMICHI can bail her out. Huge moment. And Niyonkuru started the tournament by scoring from the spot to down Mamelodi Sundowns. Can she score to level against the other giant? The short but illustrious history of the CAF Women's Champions League. Tepe Mazembe had a late penalty. Saved by ER-RMICHI. Can the Moroccan international do it again? Yes, she can! Bailing out her defender with another stunning save. Well, they're all smiles, and it's heartbreak for Sandrine Niyonkuru. The Masar top scorer could not get her third of the tournament. Hard and low, but what a save. ER-RMICHI. Well, as Masudi got the Women of the Match award for that iconic victory over Tepe Mazembe, but she gave massive props to ASFAR's number one. Once again, it wasn't in the corner, but once the keeper guessed right, she got her reward. Huge blow for the 24-year-old Burundi striker. And of course, Masar, who still trail by 1-0. After the adrenaline and excitement of stopping the penalty, ER-RMICHI seemed to feel the after effects of making the save. But made of sterner stuff, was a runner-up for Morocco as South Africa won the last Africa Cup of Nations in 2022. Once again, instrumental in ASFAR success. That's a low one played in. This time it's more direct, lifted, lofted, headed in, and cleared off the line. Well, if anyone thought Masar were going to be lambs to the slaughter, particularly after going a goal down, it's a fantastic response, to say otherwise, from the Egyptians. It's a bit harsh on Niyonkuru. Made a clear attempt to play the ball. Not sure there was that much contact. Masudi certainly would have been hurt, but Niyonkuru into the book. But it was off the line. The second delivery causing havoc. Fine header from Shadia Nankia. Just not enough power on it. And it was very smart positioning from Zeneb Erudani. So it remains 1-0, Safa Panouk heading in for the set-piece corner. But it is anything but comfortable for the 2022 champions. Out wide to Mustafa. Just lost it on her toe there, and Masudi happy to pick up. Erudani comes back, but picked up by Shemai Murtaji. ASFAR get another chance to build. But a huge let off for Raja Saeed. Nightmare start, having got the nod to keep her place on match day 3 to the semi-final. Thankfully for her, in the end, the only punishment dished out was the booking. Better position there. With the help of her captain, mop up. Certainly helps the defence when you know you've got the keeper. The talents of ER-RMICHI behind you. It has been the same for Masar in this competition with 18-year-old Habiba Sabri El Taher. Himself hasn't had anything to do, but had no chance with Banuk's header. It sees the score at 1-0. Saeed pokes it into the path of Erudani, lifts it over. Flag stays down for now. Could be a long ranger, but that's a fabulous challenge, and considering that Nyankuru's on a yellow card, very important she timed it right, and she did so. Lifted long, but angled with precision. Banuk, the goal scorer, uses the decoy, lifts it to the back post. Masudi waited on it. From the edge it's sliced, but it's sliced fortuitously. They tried the 1-2. Didn't come off. Well, they were just kind of getting in each other's way. Ambuk and Nyankuru didn't help the execution for the ball forward, but they win it back. Now, driving forward, lovely turn. Nyankuru gets support from Ala Mustafa. Has to be careful. They're surrounded by 3, that means there's space elsewhere. Lovely turn. Too quick. Sian Bukami gives away the free kick. Ariel Dunbuk. That ball flicked over the top. That allowed Nyankuru to win the penalty. Subsequently, Burundi striker failed to beat ER-RMICHI. But Masar are not letting that get their heads down. Lifted in. But easy enough for ER-RMICHI. Launch long. Good call there from Erudani. ASFAR certainly reached more of their best level in the second half against Tepe Mazembe. They've not yet found that kind of dominance that their squads certainly are capable of. And that's a lot down to how Masar have played. Sudi. Lovely shift. And then has the ability to bounce through a couple of challenges. Then the final ball, not maybe the right decision. Masar lucky because she was absolutely flying. Frustration showed by the captain. Rabat. ASFAR just taking a bit of time. Benzina around the corner. Masudi back to her captain. The moment switch central positions with the younger compatriot Saeed. Masudi certainly looks very much up for the battle. The ball out by Benzina, and there it might be caught out. Difficult ball to just sleep through. Hasna Ubamba, 18-year-old Tanzanian international, at under 17 level, was a representative in the under 17 World Cup. There's no chance to get on the end. Sandrine Nionkuru's ball. Chance to take the fullback for a spin. El Madani does so brilliantly. Final ball lacking though. But ASFAR can come again. El Madani weren't quite on the same wavelength. Lanchieri tried to make the most of that. Masar trying to play in little triangles, but ran out of space, and here's Masudi popping up everywhere now. Benzina. Rudani shapes with the left. Great ball in. Well, the keeper won it cleanly, but she also may have got a little bit of Masudi. And as she was pedaling back, she was almost beaten, only to claw it wide. Well, a big moment for the teenage goalkeeper. Won that, but look at this. When we see it returned in, think by El Madani. She does win it cleanly. There's clearly contact afterwards. We'll see if VAR take a look, but look at this. Not sure. Seemed to get maybe a slight touch on it. Maybe it was already going wide. Masar certainly happy enough to see the decision go their way, but they cough it up cheaply. And yet now a bit of space for the Egyptians. Trying to lift it over. Unsuccessfully. El Madani comes to give support. And once it's laid back by Banouk, all lifted over. Not into the pathway of the ASFAR number 7. This was Masudi at her flying, flowing best, just leaving her fan Maya slipping to the turf. Certainly showing exactly why Abdelrazek, the number 14 for Masar, is such a fan. Oh, that's brilliantly played to get to the byline. El Dambuk beats another. Running out of space and options. Certainly the driving force for Masar. She's getting cuddled there. Referee happy to let play go on. And it ends up falling kindly. Well, she initially played advantage when it was clear there wasn't any. Pull back for the foul by Masudi. Maya Abdelrazek doing well to protect the ball, take the foul. As mentioned, name-checked Masudi in an interview with CAF on the YouTube channel. Not sure Abdel Razik thought she'd maybe get that close and personal. Every players have their heroes and then grow to be someone else's. The moment the hero in this match, Safa Banouk, getting there ahead of Sabri El Tayer. And that is the goal that separates the sides. And then it could have very well been 1-1. Kota Haraj Said booked, but then having won the penalty, Sandrine Niyonkuru came up against the very best in ER-RMICHI. Most appearances in Women's Champions League history, having played every match. ER-RMICHI has to factor in the danger from the boot of Maïra Ali El Dambouk. European Champions League experience as well. Her spell in Ukraine. Hitting the wall. Masoudi giving away the free kick. Thumping clear. Now some attention for Zudani, who certainly took a hit. A sore one against the back of the head. Certainly not what anyone in the wall is hoping to happen. Best you hope for is one flying high over the bar. Well, it's been relatively comfortable opening half an hour for a matchday referee. Players have been behaving well. It's always a good reference point for officials' performance. So far, so good in what is a tight and tough battle on paper. ASFAR would have been expected to be dominant. At the moment, Safa Banouk's goal on 12 minutes, the only thing to separate them. Now driving run. El Madani doing enough with the pass to slice through the Red Sea of defence. Well won there by Amira Abdelhamid. Wanted to switch the play. Seemed to lose under her feet, but Niyonkuru did well to reshape. Dropping deep, the number 9. To get involved in the play. Their pass brilliantly cut out. And now played with some pace from Bukami. And the midfielder keeps a run going. Masoudi in support. It's with Madani. Hands outstretched by Murtaji. Instead they go for the direct route. No such luck. Chasing hard to cover the space. Asnaf Ubamba. Haven't seen much of the young Tanzanian talent. Given away cheaply by Masoudi. It's a really good ball from Mustafa. And driving into the box is El Dambouk. Well, they think there was a handball. And it's El Dambouk leading the claims. No indication that VAR has yet spoken to the referee. Certainly it was a block from an ASFAR player. Well, this could be interesting. Is Sandrine Niyonkuru They get a second chance. Clearly VAR at least suggesting they're taking a look. This was lovely play. Look how she just let the ball run across her. And then Danbuk away from Said. There is a hand there. You can see Siam Bukam saying it's Nyankuru who handled it. But I think it might be the ASFAR player, Islan Chiri. And if it is, it may yet be a second spot kick to Masar. And a second lifeline from the spot. Now the question will be, well, Nyankuru has scored one and had one save from the spot in this competition against the Sundowns on match day 1. And of course, earlier in the semi-final, head-to-head with ER-RMICHI. Will she be brave enough to step up again, or will someone else take the responsibility? You'd suspect if anyone else was going to, it would be El Danbuk. VAR making the initial diagnosis of the situation. Will the referee be called over to have a look? Well, the decision's clearly come about. And I get the sense it's no penalty. It's a lot of questions, none that need to be answered. ER-RMICHI not happy with her captain, Rabah, but she played it quickly to Said, who now will flip it across to her captain. Well, certainly it's good to see the check being made, but not every handball definition should be a penalty. It does very much depend on other factors. There's a lot of frustration when that ball hits hand, but there's no way to explain how a player is supposed to become armless. Good strength, shown not once but twice by Shadia Nankia. 19-year-old Ugandan not being intimidated by Shaima Murtaji. Well, Vind looking on. Coaching staff for Masar will be absolutely ecstatic with the performance. Of course, the frustration. One set piece they lost the opening goal to, and then failure, particularly from the spot, to find an equalizer. But they've still got plenty of time to go. Advantage played. There was no foul to ASFAR. Oh, the ball played to El Danbuk, but just out of reach, and it rolled away from her. I think had there been a free kick, it might have gone against ASFAR. More of a play on than anything else. Now there will be attention given. There's no doubt there was a coming together. Given there wasn't a head knock, the referee wasn't entitled to stop the play immediately. Clearly Erodani had stayed down. It was her riding the back of Masar captain Amira Abdelhamid. Of course, it was a fair bit of distance to come down, and certainly a sore one. She's been in the wars somewhat. The number of free kicks she gave away. That would have been another one. And of course, the way she fell It's no surprise she's feeling the after effects. Well, ASFAR lead, but it's not all happy campers in the black, red and green. Very much linked to the Moroccan army. And have been the dominant force in Moroccan women's football. Now looking to join Mamelodi Sundowns on 2 CAF Champions League titles. But as shown in this competition and tonight, very much increased quality and competition, and that's exactly why this tournament was brought about. On the field, ASFAR lead, but they're feeling the frustration. They were down to 10 initially. Clear foul on Nyankuru, no matter what Masudi says. Benzina penalised as Erodani returns. Chance to deliver from El Danbuk. Rolls it across, inviting. Now Masudi could bring it away. Oh, the ball just a little difficult for El Madani to take in her stride. Well, out here in El Jadida, the El Abdi Stadium, to see a real battle. Morocco versus Egypt always will get full attention. Both these teams doing themselves proud, Masar in particular, given this is their first ever CAF Women's Champions League, and yet they're mixing it with the 2022 champions. Ala Mustafa. And Tongo exchanging with the Ugandan compatriot Nankia. Really positive pressure ball. Masar have really shown they're not here to just make up the numbers or even just sit back and defend. They're being so positive in possession, and it's showing right now, spreading it around with real enthusiasm. And Maya played a really nice ball there. She didn't get the return. Surely a foul on Masudi. Referee maybe just seeing how the play would unfold. And Tongo certainly getting a full arm round the forward. Masudi certainly not shy of a battle or two, but certainly penalised correctly there. Nantongo. So 7 minutes added on at the end of the first half. We've had a few stoppages and the VAR decision that didn't end in a second penalty. Well, that header's loose. Keeper out of position, but drilled wide. Lack of communication. Habiba Sabri Altaya seemed to want to come and get it. Played by her defender, Nankia. And Doa El Madani had an opportunity to catch Masar goalkeeper out of position. Couldn't quite take it. Could be a break on here. Maya Abdelrazek. And she overcooks the pass. As mentioned, this is her second appearance at the CAF Champions League along with El Dambouk there, both having played for Wadi Degla. Abdelrazek really talking about her ambitions and representing the Pharaohs at the next Africa Cup of Nations. Certainly competing in competitions like this surely only help. This was her helping to win the ball back from Murtaji. Just a little bit too rushed with the final pass to El Dambouk. Certainly the support will be for the home side, ASFAR. Of course, for ASFAR, it is not overly far from home up the coast at Rabat. Travelling just over 2 hours by car down the coast to reach El Jadida. So far it's been well worth the trip for the Rabat-based side. The Moroccan champions lead by 1-0, but it's been anything but comfortable. Masar have certainly been impressive, but it's goals that may yet mean they are not going to be able to really ask questions of ASFAR. We'll tell in the second half, or maybe we'll get something in the 7 additional minutes. El Dambouk did really well, but Masudi read her path. Moroccans down to 10 men at the minute, but now restored to the full 11. Lovely football. Just a lovely triangle. And then Maya's ball just flicked around the corner. Ala Mustafa did really well. Crowded out, but won a throw. You can see that kind of connection between Maya Abdelrazek and Maria Ali El Dambouk. Abdelrazek unable quite to get there, but Mbamba giving chase, trying to press. ASFAR comfortable in possession. Now switched out to Murtaji. Searches out Masudi and finds her. Will try to play it in behind Nankia, having just muscled away from Nantongo. Past one Ugandan, not the other. Abdelrazek. Attempt to try and play it in behind, but maybe a little too forced. Well, since their semi-final loss to Mamelodi Sundowns a year ago, it's now 32 played, 29 won, 2 drawn, and just a solitary loss, which was actually during the league campaign, but shows the dominance ASFAR are used to. And even when they are maybe seeming in trouble in matches, they do have that knack for finding big goals at big moments. Certainly was the case against Tepe Mazembe. At the moment they're on course to face their Group A rivals again for the title. The Masar have shown this is anything but a one-horse race of a match. The question is, can they find a way past ER-RMICHI? They couldn't from 12 yards. They haven't elsewhere. There's still the second half to come, unless you can find a little bit of magic in what's left of these 7 additional minutes. Depends on the referee, because we're now into the 8th. Masudi waiting to come back on. She may not get a chance, but not for long. Let's see. Drops to take a touch. It has been a joy, this 4th edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, seeing the increased competitive nature. But here come ASFAR. Danny tried to return it to Masudi. Recycled. And not enough height to get in behind, but chance for Thierry. Oh, does so well to get to the byline, but the final ball, well, it stayed in actually. Cut back. Masar do so well to clear their lines. And maybe that will be the final act of the half. There was that injury to Masudi, really adding on a bit of extra time, unless we're just going to play right through, but imagine a half-time whistle will be coming shortly. Oh, brilliant to steal it off her toe, and now wants to take it for a run. Superb challenge, perfectly timed. Great from the captain, Amira Abdelhamid, kept her eye on the prize and stopped Gizan Chiri in her path. So the half-time whistle does finally sound. What an absolute cracker of a first half. ASFAR with the early breakthrough through Safa Banouk. But otherwise, it has been a real toe-to-toe contest. And I'm not even sure if the halftime whistle has actually sounded. The graphic giving a false impression. We continue. It certainly is true that both sides have really matched up well. And now it is halftime. And ASFAR with that solitary goal from Safa Banouk. The difference between the two, but ER-RMICHI had to save a penalty from Sandrine Nyonkuru to keep the lead intact. It is certainly far from over here in the second semi-final. A place against Tepe Mazembe on Saturday at stake. For the moment, ASFAR with the edge over Egyptians Masar. The second semi-final of the CAF Women's Champions League had ASFAR, the 2022 champions, taking on Egyptian debutants, first ever Pharaohs in the knockout phase, Masar. Tepe Mazembe had won after extra time to defeat Edo Queens, and so it was the Ravens who awaited the winner of this one in Saturday's final. And it looked to be the 2022 champions. First goal of the tournament for Safa Banouk. Perfectly timed her run and got there ahead of teenager Biba El Taher in the goal. It was the second goal the Egyptians have conceded. ER-RMICHI herself has only been beaten once, and she would have to make sure to deny Sadri Nyonkuru, who got away from Aja Said. But then Burundi women struck the keeper with a second penalty save of this tournament, and rightly getting the adulation of her teammates. Safe penalty, brilliant save. Well, then an effort took off the head of Sinib Erutani. Transfer Maria Ali El Danbuk certainly impressed for the Pharaoh side. And there was a little bit of miscommunication. Doa El Mandani tried to take advantage, but couldn't hit the target. Masar playing some great football at times against the illustrious name of ASFAR. As far as it goes at half-time, it's the Moroccan champions who lead by 1-0. Well, it's a warm welcome back ahead of the second half. Safa Banouk, the sole goal scorer, her first of the competition. FC Masar not out of it by any stretch after what was a hugely encouraging, at times exhilarating performance to match up against the Moroccan giants. Whether they can find a way through the mean defence, and particularly ER-RMICHI in goal. Both these sides have had great defensive records in the group stage. The goal from Safa Banouk, just the second that Masar have conceded. And Tepe Mazembe, so far the only team to have netted past ER-RMICHI. And it's the Ravens from ER Congo who await in the final, safely having made their way through. They had to come from behind though against Edo Queens, equalising in the 90th minute. An extra time victory. Well, young and experienced at the back for ASFAR. Ajar Saeed getting some advice from Aziza El-Rabat. Maya Abdelrazek certainly showed up extremely well. 19-year-old. Notes certain Sana Masoudi is a big favourite of hers. Gislaine Cheery there. Did have a cheery end to the first half. A couple of long bursting runs down the left and wicked balls whipped in. And Ayua hoping to see ASFAR to their second out of 4 CAF Champions League finals. Of course, the one they did make it to, a 4-0 victory over Mamelodi Sundowns. That the marquee performance, a result for ASFAR. Now they look to bank a second final berth 2 years on, as Masar try and keep their composure. They showed plenty of it in the first period. Can they, though, hit the back of the net and try and force their way back into contention? Battling there. Some disagreements heard on the mics, but the women on the field continue on. Masoudi being asked a lot of her. She's always willing to put everything into representing ASFAR. Kerodani. Block in there. Loose off Maya Abdelrazek, but Nyankuru there to pick up. Burundi striker always happy to drop deep and get involved in the play. Ubamba just hasn't been able to do likewise. Long. Once again, see El Tambuk doing well to try and use the pace of the ball and then roll her opponent. That time, the delivery forward just had a little bit too much on it. Strong challenge for the captain, Amira Abdelhamid. But she's certainly got a chunk of Doa El Madani as well. Having a look at the Holland defender, certainly got a large chunk of the ball. They're certainly enjoying their evening out. Top class women's football in what is a tournament that hope will grow year on year. It's certainly the quality of the teams certainly has. Lovely skills from El Madani. Drives it in, but near post. Easy take for El Tayer. Ball in hand for Nuaila Benzina. Well, the crime of a fullback. Getting penalised while taking a throw in. Never a good look. No great damage other than concession of possession. Tark getting caught in possession. Sudi trying to create problems, but Masar have created their own. El Madani decides to go herself from a tough angle. Let off for the Egyptians. Never really caught hold of the strike. Easily smothered. 5 goals in the group stage. Certainly won't find her in much more confident mood. As yet hasn't been able to add to her goal haul. Now we're in the knockout phase. Off the hand of Masudi. Just unfortunate the way the ball popped up. It's a great spin and then ball over the top. She gets there first, Mustafa. And then great challenge from Saeed and got some support. Great help from Murtaji. Mustafa certainly proving a nuisance. Masar, fullback. ER-RMICHI. Benzina. A bit loose there, but she does get helped out by her teammate winning the ball, not once, but twice. Oh, lovely little touch, but Banouk runs out of pitch. And decides that maybe kicking the ball off to give it to Masar quicker wasn't the best idea. Well done, Book. Robbed. Neither side really holding on to possession in the last minute. Zezo, we've seen so little of her. Little miscommunication there, but Maya Abdelrazek winning the ball back from Masudi. Really haven't been able to get Ubamba or Yasmin Zezo into the game. Masar. It's mostly come through this woman, El Dambuk. The byline. Doesn't waste a pass if she doesn't have to. Swings it across. Chance to volley if she wants. Takes a touch instead, Ubamba. Lacking any real conviction. Plenty of support in the stands. The drum beat setting the tone. What has been a fantastic tempo to the match. Really well played from Maya Abdelrazek. Managed to get there first. Dambuk just muscled out of it. She stayed down. Then Masudi gives the ball away cheaply. Zezo. Oh, a chance to strike, surely. Gets closer to goal. Lays it off. El Dambuk back to her feet. Clips it in, but not a great clearance. Will he manage it the second time? Not really. A little bit desperate from ASFAR, but fundamentally they are able to clear the lines. Just looking for a bit of cam there. Siam Bukam. Real danger being suggested from Masar without really looking like scoring. Can they change that? And Tongo on a long way out of defence. She didn't even look convinced it was going to be their throw. Taking quickly. Eldan Book doing so well, twisting and turning. Up against 3 black shirts, but has managed to get a cross in, but easily cut out at the near post. Oh, just a perfect weight of pass. Amadani ran into traffic. Mustafa, pocket pinched. It's all a little bit as if it was the final seconds of the contest. Yet we're only at the start of the second. A little edge about it. Lack of composure at times. That's why El-Rabat, goalkeeper ER-RMICHI, just trying to recover a bit of zen about their performance, but then captain's long ball just missing out on landing at the foot of El Madani. Razek waits for Tark. Oh, you can hear that. A little malice in it, but the two flattering together. Yasmin Zezo offers her apologies. Don't see any major malice about it unless it's actually Zezo who wins the ball. The ASFAR player who boots the bottom of her studs. Free kick nonetheless. Rabat switching to Benzina. Still Safa Banouk. The only difference between the sides. Sudi. Her ball well read and rides the challenge. Eventually get a throw. Great play by Tark. Zezo. Zezo's late there. In time. Jump well, and Banouk in the contact. Fortunately seems to be okay. Driving run from Benzina. Stops her run because it was Murtaji who wanted to take it on. Well challenged, but she does win a corner. So it was a set piece that brought about the only goal of the game. Mustafa Banu Serdar, after just 12 minutes. Now 12 minutes or so into the second half. Is lightning going to strike twice? No. But ASFAR keep the pressure on. The lifted ball, no trouble for Masar's teenage goalkeeper. Good covering from the captain. ASFAR get a bit more control without having created any real chances. And Tongo far too strong for Masudi. Kept in by Mustafa. Abdelhamid. Support from Tak. Now she's out of position. Captain knew she had to get there first. Brilliant for the 21-year-old. A lot of responsibility on her young shoulders. Got someone like El Dambouk inside, it says a lot. It's a midfielder who's wearing the armband. Tak under pressure, will be happy enough to win a throw. Certainly didn't want to give up possession easily. As we're just about to clock up an hour of play. Masudi gets it cheaply and then is running on to her own pass. What could she do here? Little step over, gets to the byline, gets a little shove, but makes sure she gets her shot away and wins a corner. Born into this competition when you think how young she was at the start, now 24, really coming into her own. This feels like her Champions League. Things continue as they have been. Such a driving force for ASFAR. Another set piece. And Masar keep ASFAR at bay. 1-0, they're still very much in the game. 2-0. May feel like a bridge too far. Ball swung in deep. Decent enough header away. Danger not over. Great challenge. A really well constructed ball out. Mbamba, that's the best we've seen of her. Lovely little nutmeg. Now works into space. Doesn't rush it forward. Smart to Mustafa. Gets a fortunate 1-2 off Benzina. Now Bamba. Just can't link up with Nyankuru. Best we've seen of the Tanzanian. When she was representing a country at the Under-17 World Cup, they beat France to help make it to the quarterfinals, losing out to Colombia when they had 2 women sent off. And the Colombians did go on to lose in the final against eventual World Under-17 Women's Champions Spain. Great tournament for Tanzania and a great sense of positivity the future might hold. For South Africa, the reigning AFCON champions, defeating Morocco and a certain ER-RMICHI and others in the starting 11. One of the reasons Mamelodi Sundowns ASFAR rivalry in the CAF Women's Champions League has been so ferocious, or at least in terms of the football. Benzina, Sudi, happy to roam and carry anywhere. That's well won though from Mustafa. Quick little angled ball out to Zezo. Getting up a good head of steam, and then just showed too much of it. Strong challenge from Thierry. He's stopping her in her tracks. Abdelhamid. Next to Maya Abdel Razek first, and now Mustafa. Comfortable on her right. Shows it with a poor pass. Erodani just looking to get Banouk on the move. Very isolated, the ASFAR number 9. Ball in behind, space and time. Does she have any support? Ubamba tries to drive it across, probably given the options. Corner is a good result. ASFAR's goal came from a corner. Masar looking for something spectacular. Taking short and catching ASFAR cold, but Naira Ali El Dambouk tried to curl in an absolute screamer. Instead, just drifted behind. No deflection, so goal kick could have been a lot worse for the 2022 champions. Ball in behind, but Mustafa, oh, she took a touch and took a chance. Very fortunate to find Tark. Now some space and time for Nyonkuru, who just gets her head down. She thought about a pass out wide. Oh well. Well, Dambouk caught on her toes, but then wins the ball back. Zezo. Oh, rides the challenge. Oh, and then hits the side netting. Certainly ASFAR have to be careful of just lying on the ground, assuming that will bring a free kick. Referee has been strong and has read the situation as is. This is a clear coming together. Would bring no foul. Zezo though, angle was too tight. Tried to just cut across it. There were a couple of bodies at the back post screaming out for it. They are putting on the pressure, but as yet they have not made ASFAR crack. Banouk's goal still the only difference between the sides. And coming across there, this time certainly fair argument for a free kick. Bukam is nudged in the back by Nyonkuru. Masar are looking dangerous, but can they find that killer touch? ASFAR may not be playing at their best, but they certainly know how to win and get over the line. That's once again being tested by debutant Egyptian side Masar. Stolen the ball back quickly. Oh, she's onside here. What a vital goal-saving challenge. Masar are well on top at the moment. Good strength shown. Zezo though, poor touch. Shiri looking long. That's just giving possession cheaply back to Masar. They're lacking the composure they showed at times in the first half. Maybe just the sense of one goal being enough given how good their defence is. They just don't want that to come back and bite them. Launched fortuitously for Masoudi, who's on the spin beautifully. Then just tried to release the ball, but tough one with the red shirts in the way. Oh, that's so well done from Maya Abdelrazek. And now spreads the ball, but Zezo just couldn't read the path of it. Madani. Masoudi waited on it. Falls kindly for Bukami. So an early change. 20 minutes to go. Safa Banuk heading off. Waiba Bukani. Zineb Redouani heading on for the final 20 minutes. Dani is not a massive surprise. She's come off at a good few battles, bumps and bruises. Safa Banuk is run herself ragged up top. At the moment, it's her goal that is sending ASFAR to a second out of 4 CAF Women's Champions League finals. The second goal would surely finish the contest. And as it stands, Masar still full of belief, full of running, but as yet just unable to find the path to goal. Danbuk does well, and just as she released it, that's when the referee blew her whistle. Oh, what a moment this is. Foul given to the Egyptians, but it was just as if she was about to release a pass that could have put them in. Farah Issam heads on. Yasmin Zezo heads off. Nothing really major to change for Masar, given how well they played. They need someone to step forward and be a hero in front of goal. Ubamba. Oh, that's a really good pick out for the captain. Just couldn't get her shot away. And Maya comes across, flicks it over. Well, there's cries for a handball, but they seem very much of the desperate side. El Rabat, the woman in question. Scooped ball by Abdelrazek. I'm not even sure. Even came off her hand, and even if it had, up against her body. It just shows the tension inside the El Abdi Stadium. Kuri winning a free kick. And, you get the feeling will be looking to deliver with some venom. I wonder it's El Dambuk taking the responsibility. Just travelled without any red shirt. Making eyes at it. Now off and having to suffer from the sidelines. Safa Banuk. The moment is the goal hero. 60 minutes remain plus stoppage time. Unless Masar can force extra time. Of course, they could always do what Edo Queens did. They knocked Mamelodi Sundowns out. ASFAR will certainly be wary of avoiding such a fate. Looking to launch long. Put away by Rabah, but it's not a good one. There was a chance to release the ball, but really backs herself. The Egyptians want a free kick. They're not getting one. El Dambuk remains down. Slowly to her feet. Now hops back onside. One 0 to ASFAR, Moroccan champions, with the slender 1-0 advantage. A lot of tension. You can see the returning figure. It's made a name for herself in Women's Champions League. Tagnut. Short spell at Seville didn't quite work out. Not yet back in the mix to be involved. Tagnut, Moroccan international, now 25. She was the real breakout star of the early couple of editions of the Women's CAF Champions League. Masudi, well, she's, along with a lot of the squad, been there and done it. She's been ever more influential. Certainly the core of ASFAR is very much the core that started this journey in the inaugural competition in 2021. 3 years on, they're looking to match Mamelodi Sundowns with a second title. To do so, they need to get through these next 13 minutes or so unscathed and try and set themselves for a final with Tipe Mazembe. But Masar are certainly not giving up the ghost. Masudi. Bukami. Finds Rabat. She now puts it out with her teammate remaining on the deck. She's managed to take out Masar's, I don't know if it was El Dambuk. No, it wasn't. It's concern there for the ankle. But one Bukami switching with another. And number 13, Ibat came on. This is a bit more of a worry that she's managed to injure herself. Kicking the turf, I think it was Aja Saeed. Well, interesting here. Siam Bukami. Nur Masoud replacing Matongo. Interesting switch. Nur Masoud, the 20-year-old. It's on. Thought maybe the defender was coming off, a striker. Attacker was coming on. Seems like a straight swap. Yes, of course, Erudani had gone off. It's the Bukami central pairing. Siam being joined by Uaiba. Ray Duani having replaced Safa Banouk. ASFAR happy to try and see out the final part of the match and also try and hit on the break, as Masar have to throw more and more at this. Oh, they've done so well to work this. Great ball by Abdel Razek. Ubamba. Oh, she's played the ball with the wrong color jersey. Ubamba on the spin. Great challenge. Gets it to El Madani. What a ball that is to find Murtaji. And that's a brilliant ball to Masoudi. Just couldn't quite read the flight of the ball. And goes out for a throw, but there was a real chance. No wonder it's a thumbs up. Fabulous pick out. Masar running out of time. Who will book their date with Tipe Mazembe in Saturday's final? Who will be into the third place playoff to take on Edo Queens? El Dambuk whips it in, but it's out of the pathway. Masar means path, and it has been an incredible path that the Pharaoh side have trodden. Founded just 3 years ago when the first CAF Women's Champions League was hosted. Cairo-based club wanted to be a platform to develop talent and compete at the highest level. They are certainly doing that. Is it going to be a step too far to advance to the final in their first ever appearance? Trip there and a free kick. Given away cheaply, Masoudi can't hold on to it though. Masar are furious and enough to get the captain a booking. Abdelhamid leading the complaints. Aya Abdelrazek felt she'd won the ball and was on the move. She had to go through the leg of Masudi to win it. Brilliant refereeing, and rightly not standing for the descent. Well, these two sides met in qualifying. Masar thrashed Tunisia's Sousse, the 4-2 victory over Algeria's Akbou, but they lost by a solitary goal to ASFAR in the final match, of course. Eventually, both earning their spot. Once again, these two are tied at 1-0. Can Masar change the tune? Falling behind. She has the pace. So does the ball, and ER-RMICHI gets there first. Helped out as well by Aha Said. Well, the players have put absolutely everything into this. No wonder a few tired, battered and bruised bodies. Well, young Champions League players of the future, perhaps. At the moment, the vintage of 2024 certainly impressing greatly. And it's going right to the wire as it did in the first semi-final. ASFAR would have qualified, as mentioned, having won the UNAF qualifiers, but nominated hosts for this Morocco 2024 edition, the CAF Women's Champions League. Masar, that runners-up spot, took their first ever place in the competition, but they don't want it to end in the third place playoff. Ball swung in. Oh, the touch there, a bump in there. The referee saying a fair challenge. Masar, of course, missed a penalty in the first half. Niyonkuru denied by ER-RMICHI, and they were desperate for another. Now, VAR may yet get involved, but I'm not sure. There will be an intervention, but you never know. Certainly contact, there's no doubt about that. It's whether Masar player had control and gets bundled over. Well, it's Chiri again who was under the spotlight from VAR for a potential handball. But that passed without incident. Certainly concerned look on the face of Uaiba, Pukami, and those in ASFAR, black, red and green. Get the feeling Chiri did get a bit of the ball. But again, we're waiting to see if the referee is going to have to review and potentially rethink. Will it be a huge decision to award a penalty Egyptians in red are desperate for it to happen. They've played some great stuff, but they've really struggled to test ER-RMICHI in the goal other than Nyankuru's unsuccessful spot kick. So by all means, a penalty guarantees nothing, especially with the form of ER-RMICHI. 2 penalties this tournament, 2 saves. Would Nyankuru take on the responsibility again? All ifs and buts, because it is a long check, a longer one than might have anticipated, which suggests there's plenty of opinions. The only one that will matter is our referee. So the opening goal after 12 minutes from Banuk, and then Nyankuru winning a penalty after being held back. Well, she's going to have a look. It's already made it more tasty. She didn't need VAR when she gave the penalty in the first half. That was missed. Great save from ER-RMICHI after 18 minutes, just 6 minutes after ASFAR took the lead. The question is, has she taken out the Masar player? She certainly gets the touch first, the Masar player. But I'm wondering if a touch. It's Nyankuru again. She gets the first touch. Now, is there a touch from Chiri? She's taking her time. I'm not sure Chiri gets much on it, but that might not be the best angle. Looks like I think we might see a spot kick here. The referee just wanting to see the contact after the ball is touched. You can see that she was a little bit blindsided by the 2 ASFAR players that came across, and hard with the ball in front of Nyankuru to see it with the human eye. You can see the ball is going in behind, and without being taken out, with Nyankuru got to the end of it. These are all the hypotheticals that have to go into the calculation. Bated breath for ASFAR. We may not just have a penalty, we could be going into extra time. Although, as we saw in the first half, ER-RMICHI is a goalkeeper of penalty kick saving. Well, here we go. Masar celebrate, but they may want to cut them short because they haven't scored yet. They failed with a penalty kick in the first half. But is this time going to be their time? ASFAR may say that Chiri got a small touch on the ball after long consultation. The referee has said that the defender took Nyankuru out, and it is a spot kick. Now, who is going to take it? Well, that is the young midfielder Maya Abdelrazek. Nyankuru saw her penalty saved in the first half. She hasn't stepped up again as 8 minutes will be added on. Huge moment, and it's the 19-year-old who's taking the weight of the world on her shoulder. Well, she had experience with Wadi Degla. That ended in 3 defeats. Now, 2 years on, she's back And this is a young woman with big ambitions, scoring an equalizer in stoppage time would do her career bigger. Oh, El-RMICHI again! A third penalty kick of this CAF Women's Champions League, and 2 in the semi-final. ASFAR will feel justice done. But just incredible. The goalkeeper has once again been the hero. Well, wait a second. Was she off her line? I'd imagine that's the only reason we'll get a retake. Oh, the drama. It's not ended yet, and I think it's going to be a retake. It is! Booking for the captain. El Rabat, like her counterpart Abdelhamid, booked for descent. Oh my, oh my. Well, this one's a bit more clear cut, I'm sure, when we see the pictures. 1 foot has to be on the line. She is clearly off it. Miles in the end. And it's an easy decision, but emotions running high. As mentioned, it's a bit more black and white, this, but Masar, well, who's going to take it now? It's no great surprise. In fact, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. The most experienced in the side, Maïra Ali El Danbouk. She also played alongside Maya Abdelrazek in that Wadi Degla side, as well as a spell in Ukraine where she played in the European Champions League. A 27-year-old who's trying to prove that El-RMICHI can be beaten. The Moroccan stopper booked. She came off her line, and that's why it's a retake. Well, we're going to run out of players to book without a red card coming out. Murtaji also in the book. Now, absolutely incredible. And if we said 8 minutes added time, there could be a hell of a lot more of that. Well, now, El Danbouk did have the ball in her hands, but no. Maya Abdelrazek wants another go at it. She wants another bite at the cherry. The strength of character when she knows what missing will mean. And she's been stopped in her run-up. Oh, the tension. El-RMICHI against Abdelrazek. And this time, the teenager fires in! Her first CAF Women's Champions League goal. And it's in the semi-final, deep into stoppage time. And it has levelled the affair. She was denied by El-RMICHI, only for the goalkeeper to be found to have come off her line. She did so again, if you look at it. But this time, clean, crisp, and down the middle. Maya Abdelrazek wanted to make a name for herself at this tournament. She's picked the perfect moment to do so. Masar alive in the semi-final. It is 1 apiece. Well, quite incredible. If you just look at the whole sequence from when the challenge was initially made to when we actually got the goal, must have been about 10 minutes. So, sure exactly what time this is going to finish. But there's going to be plenty of time for someone to find a winner to avoid extra time. This CAF Women's Champions League is already thrown up some unforgettable late shows. Edo Queens against Mamelodi Sundowns, of course, the standout, but Tepe Mazembe themselves scored past the 90 mark to take their semi-final against Edo Queens into extra time, in which the Ravens soared to a 3-1 victory overall. Masar want to do the same, but can the Moroccan champions hit back? Masar have done something they didn't before. But that's the winner, surely! Oh, what a free kick! And that, the response of champions. Incredible. Well, there's going to be tears on both sides of joy and devastation. And after 10 minutes to finally beat ER-RMICHI from the spot, it took barely a minute for ASFAR to dramatically fire themselves minutes from the final. The keeper caught out by Doa El-Madani. Plenty have said that as the competition's top scorer gets her 6th but most important goal of the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League. They were expecting a cross. She came up with the unexpected. And ASFAR surely can't throw it away now. Well, look out over El Jadida. The hosts, ASFAR, a couple hours away from home, but have made the El Abi Stadium their own for this competition. And they have soaked up the pressure, finally seen Masar break through to level the affair. And then, near as in the blink of an eye, Doa El-Madani has done it again. ASFAR now we just want to avoid any more drama. Well, off goes Mutaji. Still got plenty of time to get some minutes into the substitutes' legs. Well, they're throwing everything at this Masar. They absolutely have to. Well done, Book. That's a wicked delivery. Coming together, but certainly no third penalty. And that's the final whistle of a quite incredible finale. ASFAR led. This is the 12th minute, but in stoppage time, Maya scored from the spot after a retaken penalty, but Doa El-Madani was the one to write the final chapter of an incredible semi-final. Her 6th goal has sent ASFAR to their 2nd CAF Women's Champions League final. They will face Tepe Mazembe again. And if it's anything like their matchday 2 clash, we are in for a cracker. But this was absolutely scintillating in El Jadida. As we look above the El Abdi Stadium, it is ASFAR who have written another glorious chapter in their long, successful history. ER-RMICHI dances along with the rest of them. Can they go and lift their second Champions League title? Tepe Mazembe will have something to say about that. Great commiserations to Masar and Edo Queens, will face off in the 3rd place playoff. They both put in so much this tournament. The debutants will face off for 3rd and bronze. After a brave attempt, ASFAR find a way to win.
الاحساس ديالي صراحه فرحان بزاف، حقاش استطعنا نخطفوا بطاقه تاهل للفينالي، ما كانش بالساهل. انا هاد الجائزه كنديها لصحاباتي كاملين اللي تقاتلوا الام ديالي، وكندير با الله يرحمه، والعائله ديالي كامله الكبيره والصغيره، وكندير جميع المغاربه.
ER-RMICHI, well deserving of the women of the match. Masar, heartbroken. Only just about cover it, but look at Safa Banuk and the rest of them absolutely living for this competition. Emotions pouring out. Masar will have to refocus and face the Edo Queens on Friday as the 2 losing semi-finalists, but it is a final that is a mouth-watering prospect. ASFAR now face Tepe Mazembe in Saturday's final. There you have it, the title up for grabs. And the Lodi Sundowns out in the group stage. There will be name from last year. Will it be a new name entirely? Or can ASFAR take their second crown? Tepe Mazembe, just their 2nd edition, looking to be the best. So Edo Queens and Masar facing off here in El Jadida for the bronze medal, which has been won twice before by ASFAR. They'll be glad to be far away from that match when they face off against Tepe Mazembe. Unmissable, the El Abdi Stadium hosting the 3rd place playoff and the final. We'll be back here at the weekend for the culmination of a terrific 4th edition of the CAF Women's Champions League here from Morocco. Well, the second of our 2 semi-finals, ASFAR, the 2022 champions, against Champions League debutants Masar. A huge clash between Moroccan and Egyptian teams that faced off in the qualifying final. ASFAR winning 1-0, but as host, that opened the door for the Red Pharaohs. But they were a Red Sea that had been so tough to crack. But they did so after just 12 minutes. Safa Banouk with her first goal of the tournament, the number 9, rising highest and timing everything to perfection. But then, just 6 minutes later, penalty kick. Ahar Saeed caught out by El Dambouk's brilliant ball, taking down Niankuri. The Burundi striker stepped up, but another save from Kadia ER-RMICHI. She saved a penalty in the match against Tepe Mazembe, her second spot kick save of this edition. Into the second half, Masar were desperate to get back on level terms, but it was hard at times to keep Sana Masudi under wraps. She got clear, drove into the box. In the end, did well to win a corner. Tense times on the sidelines. But Masar just would not give up, and then the big talking point. Gislan Chiri clashing with Niankuru. It took 10 minutes, but then finally we got a spot kick and a good few bookings handed out for dissent. Then it was saved initially, retaken, and Maya Abdel Razek at the second time of asking looked to have sent the match into extra time. And yet, take a bow. Doa El Madani doing something no one else was thinking of. Bringing the unexpected to bring the expected result. ASFAR into their second Champions League final. Masar will have to fight it out for bronze.